For 300,000 years of human history, the moment an ancient woman realized she was pregnant was never just a personal matter. It was the moment an entire tribe entered the most intense survival mission our species had ever faced. We often look at modern medicine, with its sterile rooms and advanced technology, as humanity's greatest lifesaver. But the truth is that our ancestors sustained the survival of the human race through something far more sophisticated and deeply human, a system that scientists today call the social womb. When a woman in a hunter-gatherer tribe began carrying new life, the world around her changed instantly, not through fear or anxiety, but through a carefully designed network of support, with every detail thoughtfully accounted for. Because in that wild world, a single mistake could mean the extinction of an entire bloodline. A pregnant woman was not pushed aside or treated as a burden. Instead, she became the center of a concept known as cooperative breeding. Other women in the tribe, especially experienced mothers, would immediately take over her most demanding tasks, from digging for roots to traveling long distances. There was a deeper philosophy woven into this system, often referred to as the grandmother hypothesis. Older women in the tribe held an irreplaceable role. They were no longer able to bear children themselves, but they possessed a wealth of knowledge accumulated through countless successful births. They were the living knowledge banks of herbal remedies and practical skills, ensuring that every child entered the world under the care of the most experienced hands available. Archaeological evidence suggests that the role of the midwife existed tens of thousands of years ago, long before the emergence of agriculture or written language. In 2014, researchers analyzed Neanderthal remains and identified distinctive wear patterns in the knees and lower back, marks believed to have been left by decades of kneeling and supporting women during childbirth. They were not merely observers, they were humanity's first healthcare specialists. They knew how to use their hands to determine a baby's position through the mother's abdomen, how to help reposition breech babies, and which plants in the forest could help stop bleeding or ease pain. This was not guesswork or luck. It was a system of practical knowledge refined through thousands of generations. As labor approached, the entire tribe would prepare a special birthing area, usually a secluded yet safe location near a water source and protected by fire. Forget the image of a woman lying flat on a hospital bed, a practice introduced by modern medicine that actually works against gravity. In the ancient world, women gave birth while standing, squatting, or kneeling, using the force of gravity to help the baby enter the world more easily. Surrounding her was typically a group of 3 to 5 women, each with a specific role to play. One woman guided the birth, another provided physical support for the mother to lean on, while the others prepared warm water and medicinal herbs. Most importantly, they kept the fire burning at all times to drive away predators, because the sounds of childbirth and the scent of blood could attract hunters from great distances. What happened immediately after the baby was born is perhaps the most remarkable part of all. Modern medicine did not begin to rediscover the benefits of delayed cord clamping until the 1990s, yet our ancestors had been practicing it for 50 years. They waited until the umbilical cord stopped pulsing, allowing the oxygen-rich blood from the placenta to fully transfer into the baby's body, helping strengthen the infant's natural immunity. The baby was then placed directly on the mother's chest for skin-to-skin contact, a practice that helps stabilize heart rate and body temperature and is now considered the gold standard in American hospitals. Ancient people had no intensive care units, but they did have constant physical contact between mother, child, and tribe, creating a powerful emotional shield that helped ward off exhaustion and depression. This care did not end when the baby's first cry was heard. A new mother in the tribe was often exempt from all work for weeks, and sometimes even months. Studies of the Hadza people of Tanzania and the Kung of the Kalahari have shown that this kind of community support directly increased child survival rates to the highest levels possible under wild living conditions. This was part of an unspoken social contract. Today the tribe cared for you, and tomorrow you would pass that knowledge on to the next generation. Sadly, much of this valuable oral tradition was lost as society became industrialized and childbirth became increasingly medicalized, transforming a sacred community event into an isolated medical procedure. Yet fragments of that legacy still survive among groups such as the Aka people of Central Africa, where midwives continue to use techniques that trace back to our shared ancestors 40,000 years ago. Modern research, including a 2017 report published in the journal Birth, has confirmed that continuous emotional support from another woman can reduce labor time by 25% and significantly lower the risk of complications. This proves a simple scientific truth. Technology can save our lives during difficult deliveries, but it is human connection that enabled our species to evolve and thrive in the first place. Looking back at the history of pregnancy in ancient societies, we see a story of resilience and collective wisdom. They survived the most dangerous moments of life, not because they were stronger than we are, but because they never had to face them alone. To answer the question posed in the title, what did ancient humans do when a woman got pregnant? The simplest answer is this: they built a protective community. They transformed the fear of death into an art of care, support, and shared responsibility. This understanding reminds us that no matter how far medicine advances, the deepest human instinct will always be to seek the warmth of another person's hand during life's most vulnerable moments. The greatest legacy that ancient people left to pregnant women was not a stone tool or an herbal remedy, but a lesson in connection. Pregnancy marked the beginning of a new life, and that life could flourish most fully when surrounded by the care and support of an entire tribe. That is why, after hundreds of thousands of years, we are still here, continuing to tell this remarkable story of survival.